No, so Saturday, Sunday I do SCP reading. Monday, Tuesday I'm not live. Wednesday to Friday I do gaming streams. No, I have breaks. And I also tell on my Discord whenever I take a break. Or if I don't stream on a day, because maybe either A, I have a migraine, or I'm sick, or I'm doing something, or I'm working. And then I say when I'm not live. But usually Wednesday, Friday till Friday, video gaming. Saturday, Sundays, reading. We have Canned Bread as our author, no link. And they wrote a model city. Alright, here we go. That is fucking tiny city right there. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures, SB 3037 is to be kept in a standard safe class storage dock at Site 19. When it being transported, personnel or not to hold it in their hands, rather it might be slid into a wheeled cart and pushed into its destination. Well, it's nothing. It's a city, a model city. 3037 prior to its containment. Drubvovnik. Dash A instances created for testing are to be terminated at the conclusion of each test. Additionally, no more than one instance of Dash A is to exist. I thought it was a cake. It does look like a cake from far away, you're right. It could be. It's a cake. Go back to like, what fucking year was that? 2021, 2022, when it's like when did the whole like, it's a cake meme? The event that multiple instances are created, all of them are to be terminated. Description. SCP-3037 is a miniature model of a walled city of Drubvovnik, Croatia. Its base is an irregular octagon that resembles a square measuring 9 centimeters on each edge and is composed of plaster and painted with acrylic. Afro is cake sometimes? I hope not. Because if I'm cake and I drink water, I would fall apart. I would crumble. Persons who hold SCP-3037 are designated instances of Dash A. Okay. Holding is defined as supporting the entire weight of the object with one hand or at least one whole second, making physical contact with the object. Instances of Dash A believe themselves to actually be the city of Drubvovnik and speak exclusively in Serbo-Croatian. Wait, you think you're the city? Reminds me of that one SCP where like a random human being would show up and they would think they're like the ambassador of a city that doesn't exist. Amnestic treatment has thus far proven ineffective in reversing these effects. Ooh shit, okay, so you're stuck like that. Dash A instances have also exhibited anomalous physical changes corresponding to current events in the city of Drubvovnik. Any damage sustained by the city causes corresponding bodily harm to instance of Dash A, okay. Which cannot heal unless the city of Drubvovnik is also repaired. So the city itself is hurt, and the person who is Dash A gets hurt. Gotcha. Not the model, but the city itself. A notable example of this was observed in December of 1991, see incident log Alpha. During the siege of Drubvovnik by the Yugoslav People's Army. Testing has shown that this relationship is not reciprocal. Instances of Dash A may be harmed without causing corresponding damage to the real city of Drubvovnik. Makes sense. Instances of Dash A believe themselves to be parents of SCP-3037 itself. As such, they are reluctant to put down or expose it to harm. If they are forced to give up SCP-3037 or it appears to be damaged, they show reactions consistent with those parents whose children have been harmed. The idea of looking at a model of a city and be like, that's my child. You better treat her. You better not get close to my child. I'll protect you. Don't you worry. This bad guys cannot get you. Multiple concurrent instances of Dash A may exist at any given time. They appear willing to put down SCP-3037 only if they are handling it over to another instance. Even when these instances are aware of each other's existence, they do not show signs of distress. If, for example, there are 10 Dash A instances in existence, they claim that there exist 11 copies of the city of Dubrovnik, all of which are parents of SCP SCP-3037, including the actual city. Recovery log. In the summer of 1988, Dr. V, a researcher at Site 19, began exhibiting a streak of absenteeism. Investigation of his home by Foundation agents found that he had been home the entire time and had been affected by the object that was later designated SCP-3037. Further investigation found that Dr. V had never been to Dubrovnik and had bought SCP-3037 at a local art exhibition. The object was originally wrapped and boxed, and he did not directly hold onto it, hold it until removing it from the box in his home. The company organizing the art exhibition had no records of a vendor selling art inspired by Yugoslavia or the Dalmatian Coast region. Because payment for the object was made in cash, the identity of the artist is unknown. The exact nature of SCP-3037's anomalous properties was determined during recovery, as the Foundation agent handled the object after bringing the first -A instance. Formerly Dr. V into containment, this agent in turn became an -A instance. Containment was established when both -A instances were tranquilized and the object was handled with tongs to be placed into its current safe class storage locker. Interview log Alpha. Interviewer Dr. C, a researcher at Site 19. An instance of -A, formerly Dr. V. At the time of the interview, there were 6 instances of -A. That's way too many. Oh? Chiquito. Don't you like me? If I'm made out of cake, I cease to exist. I can't have that. Where was I? Yep, okay. The content of this log has been translated into English from Serbo-Croatian. Extraneous data has been redacted. Oh god. I haven't heard like a Serbian accent. And I don't want to do like a piss job, so I'm just going to do like a deeper voice. Beginning log 14/7/1988, 11/15/7. How are you feeling today? The same as usual. Rocky, ancient, humid, warm today. And SCP-3037? My daughter? She is doing well, but please be quiet. She's sleeping. Of course, I would like to confirm some of your previous statements. You are the ancient walled city of Dubrovnik, correct? Correct. One of 7 Dubrovniks. Can you tell me how an entire city has arms and legs or fits inside this one room? That is simply what cities do. Cities have arms and legs, a whole body, and they fit inside rooms. I'm not sure what it is you are asking. Could you please define city for me? A place where many people live, made of buildings, stone, maybe wood. It has a body that can fit inside a room and is composed of several neighborhoods. There are 7 of the city of Dubrovnik. And how does an entire city have a daughter? Doctor, I hope you will excuse my modesty. I do not want to answer that question. I am a scientist. You will not disgust me. Fine. A city is made of marble, is it not? Some cities are. My daughter was carved from my marble. It is quite simple, really. She will make an excellent city herself one day. Thank you. I have no more questions for today. End log 14/7/1988, 11 o'clock, 11:18, 14 o'clock. Sometimes being like a researcher at the Foundation and having these interviews, it must be like the most hilarious thing. Like, you like, how do you not like crack up sometimes with what the answer is? Like they're talking about a model and be like this thing right here is my daughter and she will make an excellent city one day. How can you just be there like and just be like, yeah, that makes sense, yeah, whatever. So you say, I would be like, Sure. Yes. Once you touch it for a second or you hold it, it makes you think you're the city, and the model itself is your child. Incident log Alpha Siege of Dubrovnik. And that's a siege where the city got hurt, and then the person who thinks that the city as well also got hurt. Beginning in October of 1991, the Yugoslav. I wish I could be a city. Which city would you want to be? Yugoslav People's Army besieged the real city of Dubrovnik. At the time, the Foundation had 15 instances of -A in custody. During the siege, each of these instances reported some difficulty in eating, and minor laceration manifested at times corresponding to actual attacks on the city of Dubrovnik. Area 51, that's not a city though. The bombardment of the old town of Dubrovnik reached its peak on the 6th, 12th, 1991 at almost exactly 6 o'clock Central European time. During this bombardment, all 15 instances of -A exploded in succession. Roughly one second apart, the order in which they exploded was observed to correspond to the order in which they were created. The first instance of -A exploded with relative little force, but each successive explosion was increasingly powerful. The last instance exploded with force equivalent to roughly 1 ton of TNT, reaching several containment chambers at Site 19 and resulting in the loss of personnel. It's hypothesized that instances of -A have an enormous connection not only with the real city of Dubrovnik, but also with each other. Therefore, the second instance of -A was not only damaged by the shelling of Dubrovnik, but also by the explosion of the first instance and so on. In this way, the explosive force of the first instance of -A was multiplied by power 2 by the power 14 by the time the 15th instance exploded. Due to this incident, it is now prohibited for more than one instance of -A to exist at any given time. That makes sense because like that's like way too many people that you have to keep track of that get injured if something happens to the city. But I've really been wondering how they're keeping all these SCPs in one facility. Well, they don't. They have like sites all over the world. There's like multiple facilities. There are sites in the US, sites in Russia, China, Germany, UK, and so on and so forth. And as I mentioned, when you asked like how big the world is in the foundation, the SCP world is, I mentioned how, and Sweden, yeah, Sweden as well, how not every SCP exists in the same timeline because they reset the world quite a lot of times. So some SCPs probably only existed for like a certain duration, and then the world got reset, and then that SCP ceased to exist. Yeah. And also, who knows how many like simultaneous timelines that exist in this world. I think that's you pick Basel. Fascinating that you're picking a Swiss city. How come Basel? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I had the same feeling where I was like, after I read like 1,000, and I saw there was like 7,000 more to read. I was like, how are all these SCPs like in one world? And then like it was explained to me like, well, technically, they don't, because yeah, some of them like only existed for like a certain timeline. It could be like a what if, like multiple different timelines at the same time. Blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Which I'm like, that allows, you know, all the authors to like go ham with how crazy the SCPs are, because they're not always going to exist in the same world. For two reasons. First, for the football team that I have seen, and it sounds like a unique city, I suppose. Okay. If I were a city, I would be Tokyo. Because Tokyo is clean as shit. Tokyo is clean as fuck, man. Like, that is a cool city. it's big. Japanese people are respectful to the city itself, so there's not a lot of like damage happening to the city. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry of some weird stuff like Dubrovnik getting attacked or raided on. So if I were a city, I would be Tokyo.